Hello, everybody. Today, in today's forecast, we'll be discussing a couple waves of severe weather coming in for the central and southern plains, primarily Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. The jet stream winds are looking weaker, according to the HRRR model. They don't look very impressive at all. Here's today, Friday, and each and every day from today all the way to Sunday, May 23rd through 25th. We are expecting level 2 out of 5 slight risks. Going throughout the weekend, we have this kind of low sitting out here. And I'm going to turn on this here real quick. Well, I guess we'll wait for that. But, oh, there it is. We do have this kind of low sitting out here. And they're just going to send out like a couple of small little waves of energy. And right now it's not expecting too much out of it besides some wind and hail. Again, primarily across Texas, Oklahoma, and parts of Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, maybe even Louisiana. Pretty much this area from southern Kansas down to Oklahoma, Texas, and a good chunk of Arkansas and Louisiana. And then again, as the system slowly moves by, we'll see. This is Sunday, kind of in the afternoon, where we are expecting another wave. But after that, there is some speculation of more storms happening down here in Texas that need to be watched fairly closely. It is around this time. We are entering more summer months. So in the southern plains, we usually see more severe weather regarding wind and hail. Tornado threat shifts further north. Let's go ahead and look at dew points. Here on the HRRR model, it does clearly show some 70s down here in eastern Texas and southern Oklahoma. And as this low pressure system sits out here on this coast, it is slightly negatively tilted, so it is bringing up at least some moisture from the Gulf. It's actually bringing up quite a bit. We should see a more increase in dew points in the coming days, mid to upper 60s, even low 70s. And as we can clearly see here, there is a dry line. Oh, oopsies. There is a dry line that kind of situates itself out here in the Texas Panhandle and West Texas, and this will kind of act as a starting point for storms to take off and travel northeast. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on that area, that dry line, and it'll kind of shift from west to east from time to time. This is Saturday, and we're still going to see an increase in moisture here, especially here in Oklahoma. It looks like on Saturday, maybe some 70s possible there in central Oklahoma. Keeping a close eye on that. Plenty of fuel for any storms for sure. And then going into Sunday, that dry line still kind of sits way out to the east, or sorry, west. Kind of out here to the west, and it does look like there's a cold front that kind of comes through here. We should be in a mostly uncapped environment as well, so keeping a very close eye on that as well. But this is how the boundaries are looking like. It looks like a cold front here and a dry line that kind of situates itself down further south. And there is still some dew point, some okay moisture to the north as well. But going into temperatures here, and at this time, at about 3 o'clock, hang on, give me a second, look at my time sheet. This is about noonish, this is showing, but it's not really noon anymore. But we are expecting very, very warm temperatures throughout the weekend across primarily Texas and Oklahoma. We are going to be seeing some hundreds down here in West Texas. There's definitely a couple hundreds down there. But we'll also be seeing some very warm temperatures from Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way out to New Mexico. And that is a lot of warm, unstable air still. So that, again, That is going to be a lot of fuel for storms, and that is kind of in the primary concern area alone. And well, it just continues warming up there too. And then going off into Sunday, things will cool down. But like I said, that cold front does kind of situate itself up here in North Oklahoma and southern Kansas. We still have that dry line that sits out here. And you can kind of see that dry line sits here too. We can kind of see where that cold front is up here. And that dry line kind of sits roughly about maybe there. We have very warm temperatures, upper 80s and low to mid 90s on the west side, and more mid to upper 80s on the east side. So we can still see what dry line cold front will be sitting at. Let's go ahead and go off to mixed layer Cape. Again, convective variable potential energy. And we do have today that level 2 slight risk, and we can see some Cape values rising up still. Why is this big like that? I don't want it to be big. There we go. We do have some rising values going all the way up to about northeast Colorado there, and far west Nebraska. And then throughout the day, we are expecting it to continue rising a little bit. We can clearly see where that dry line is kind of situates itself at here. Clearly see where that dry line kind of sits at. I gotta make this a little bigger. Alright, that should do. So keeping a very close eye out here on this dry line. Again, it is expected to fire off some storms here in the Texas Panhandle, even northeast Oklahoma later today into early tomorrow morning. And then as moisture continues to rise, we are actually into Saturday afternoon. We are actually expecting to see up to 3,000 joules per kilogram, so we will be very unstable. And then as the day progresses, about 4,000 joules per kilogram. So it'll be very, very unstable. This is plenty of fuel for storms. And then this will continue to kind of rise throughout the day, and that cold front should kind of smash down a little bit here. What did I do? Oh, oopsies. And eventually, kind of late in the late Sunday, we do have that cold front kind of situating itself up here, and that dry line continues to kind of show itself right here, about there. Again, this is just kind of my early kind of map analysis here, but cold front, dry line definitely still there. It's kind of looking a little funky to me though, and that should kind of progress throughout the day. And even Sunday will be very, very unstable. Going into reflectivity here, let's go ahead and go down south. Oh, oopsies. Not what I meant to do. Let's go over here to the central U.S. And we do have the major risk area here today. The more risk, kind of, we do have a slight risk pretty much from northeast Colorado down through Kansas and Oklahoma. Expecting some storms out here, kind of just chilling out here throughout the day. And we do have a severe thunderstorm watch out here today. The H4 model only brings up like 1 or 2 storms, especially right here in northeast Colorado, where we are watching it closely for any possible tornado risk there. We do have a tornado risk, obviously, today. And then as that kind of fizzle out, we'll see a new development of storms out here early Saturday morning. We're seeing kind of a more cluster of storms out here, especially in southeast Kansas and northern Oklahoma. Watching this front edge here for for maybe an isolated tornado or two, 80-mile-per-hour winds, and golf ball size hail. But right now, the winds look to be the most threatening. And then as this shifts south and east, Oklahoma City might stay out of it, but a couple showers could try to go up here. So keep an eye on those. And as these storms actually progress into southeast Oklahoma and Arkansas, it does look like there could be another kind of spike in severe activity there. So keeping a close eye on that. Tornado threat should be very low, though. And as these continue to shift east and southeast, they should fizzle out rather quickly. And then going into Sunday, we see kind of a new group of cells trying to go up here in Texas, northwest Texas. Keeping close eye on those as they should mature throughout the day and help fire off new storms here. Maybe leave opportunity for some storms. And these storms up here in northeast Oklahoma, they should be a bit more isolated. They're still expected to be a bit more clusterous, but keeping an eye on those cells as well. The HRRR model actually doesn't bring up any storms down here in southwest Oklahoma just yet, but as those will continue to shift off to the southeast, and it looks like this could be the cold front right here. It looks like it's trying to pull up maybe the cold front firing off some showers there, but anything out here, we can clearly see a couple strong to very strong cells from southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma. Those will need to be watched closely for severe storms capable of baseball-size hail, damaging winds 80 miles per hour, and maybe a couple tornadoes. And as this shifts south, we'll see some general rain and thunderstorms, maybe some small hail, and a small gust or two, pretty much from central to north Arkansas, southern Missouri, and eastern Oklahoma. And then going off into the Storm Prediction Center, here's, oh my goodness, here's the risk for today, Friday, May 23rd. We have this level 2 slight risk here from central eastern Oklahoma up through much of Kansas, all the way through north Colorado and far southwest Nebraska. And even watching a couple cells off the dry line here in Texas, down there in Texas. Here's the tornado risk. A level 5 risk does exist out there in northeast Colorado, where I was mentioning that kind of one lone isolated cell tries to break for Colby, Kansas. Keeping a close eye on that, in March, 2% risk ranging from West Kansas, which includes Liberal, Garden City, Colby, Kansas, Dodge City in there as well. That stretches off to the south throughout northern Oklahoma, central and eastern Oklahoma. Oklahoma City is included in that 2% risk for an isolated tornado or two, keeping a very close eye on out there as well. But the main risk, again, should be damaging winds from about just east of the Woodward area of Oklahoma down to the southeast, which includes Tulsa and northeast Oklahoma City. We are expecting the 80-mile-per-hour winds possible with any of those cells out there. That kind of maybe bows out a little bit. Hail, some tennis ball to baseball size hail out here in the Texas Panhandle, northwest Oklahoma, and west Kansas, and that does include northeast Colorado. Watching for large to very large hail out there. And going into day 2 for Saturday, slight risk switches down to the southeast, across Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and even Mississippi and Alabama. It's kind of a really large risk here. Starting at the tornado risk, we do have a 2% risk out here in Colorado, which includes Denver and Pueblo. Isolated land spout or two out there for sure. And a 2% risk, a pretty large one out here from Alabama, which includes Birmingham, through Mississippi, which includes Greenville, there in northern Mississippi. This does include Memphis, Tennessee as well, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, Woodward, Oklahoma. At a 5% risk here from central Oklahoma, which includes Oklahoma City, Norman, down to the southwest, including Lawton and Fort Sill, and that does include northwest Texas there. But again, the main risk should be hail here. Pretty much all of central Oklahoma, including Oklahoma City, Fort Sill, Lawton, Norman, Tulsa, Woodward. Any cells that go up will be capable of producing very large hail. We're talking tennis balls to baseballs. And they are northwest Texas, which includes Lubbock, Texas. Same deal there. Winds are not entirely concerned here. Maybe a couple gusts up to 70 miles an hour from Lubbock, Texas, up to Lawton and Oklahoma City in Oklahoma, down to the east and southeast to Little Rock and northern Mississippi, and central to western Alabama. Going into the day 3 outlook, we do have pretty much a similar area here, but maybe slightly larger, slight risk from northern Alabama through all the way to Arkansas, Oklahoma, and parts of Texas. The more significant risk should be from Oklahoma City out west to Amarillo, Lubbock, and Abilene, Texas, where we are expecting maybe a tornado or two, damaging winds 70 to 80 miles per hour, and some very large hail capable up to tennis to baseball size. Very, very unstable. Any storms that go up will be significant. Keeping a close eye on it, and that is your forecast. I will be making updated forecasts for each and every day. For tomorrow, Sunday, and we do have this risk for next Monday here across much of central and eastern Texas.